So I think the camera died. I don't know when it died, but what I ended up doing, I cut the whole entire fuse, this little piece of junk fuse box out. That thing right there, because they drilled through there. So I'll end up taking the fuse box off, putting the cover back on. But all this wiring, we're just gonna have to go back through it and just fix it. I'll redo it. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of, this wasn't done very nicely, you know. And I might just end up getting one of those panels that does them all. Just like the push button one. That might just be easier for me to do. So we'll see how that goes. Because I think all there is the lights for the whips. But the whips, I have new whips coming and rock lights from 5150, and I don't remember if they come pre-fused in the harness. But if not, I have fuse holders, so it's not that big of a deal. So I can always make my own. Just jump it in the fuse holder, and then it has a fuse. And then I think I have waterproof relays for the light bar on the roof. That's kind of. I think this is the hardware that holds this in. I'm really not sure. I got so many bags of parts up there. It's the only one that looked right. Pretty sure it is right. I wouldn't be messing with it if it wasn't. That one went in. There's 4 little Phillips screws that hold this thing in. And this one, the clip popped out of the amp. We don't want to tighten them tight just yet. You want to make sure you can try to get. Boy, those ones are going to be a pain. Wow. Just that you just try put the amplifier on the bracket first before you go to town. Because that is going to happen. Huh. That's a little interesting. Not a very. They should have put like studs maybe and nuts. Might have been a little easier. And then at least you can feel it. I'm gonna grab the magnet, see if I can cover what I lost. And then the next part, after I get the amplifier bolted in, I'm going to try to get this top panel off behind the cluster, and hope and pray we can get that out. Hopefully. Yeah, that might be. Magnet's kind of cheesy already. Oh, that's a rivet. That's not coming out. Let's go fishing. As small as the screws are, they should really give you spares. There's a big open gap in front of that frame rail. else is riveted on. That kind of sucks. I'm trying. If not, then. I like the ones that I have at work. Okay, well, it's only getting 3 screws, and it'll be fine. It's not gonna go anywhere. Okay. I might have one of those little tiny screws. Okay. Make sure it didn't land in here. So I'll just go check real quick, see if I have one. I might have something at work. I found something. I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, cool, look at that. Sorry for the blinding light. So I found that, I had one. So I have a couple of them, so we have a couple tries. You know? Hopefully this one doesn't fall, because it's a blind hole. See, I have to, well, at least that one went over here. That's kind of a, you know what? That might, you might not even be able to get a, there might not even be a screw hole there. I'm gonna have to get over there and look. Because it feels like the connector's in the way. No, there is. It's like right at the bottom now. Okay. Around 10,000. I think it's because the amplifier, when I tightened it, it shifted. And then I'll have to go back through and fix all the lights too. Hopefully, 5150, the company is on a, they're having a hard time getting stuff out, I guess. I've ordered rock lights and 6-foot, the 187 whips. Like, I think the 11th of, it's been quite a while. You know, it's been, I think 12 days. Still nothing, and they say there's a delay of 5 to 7 days, which everything right now is a pain in the butt, so, you know, it is. I'm just gonna leave them alone. That didn't feel very good, so I don't feel comfortable using this screw. Let me see how it feels over here. Yeah. But once I get the whips and the rock lights, I can go ahead and install everything else. Those are one of the last pieces that I need before I'm done. The stereo I've been really wanting to buy for the last few years. Or not last few years. Since I bought it, I think I've had this thing almost 2 years now. That screw's not big enough. And when I first bought this, they were unavailable. They're like sold out of them. because it's riding season. And then I said I'm just gonna wait, and I waited till the summer, and luckily they went on sale. Because I'd say them going on sale, they're usually like $5,600 for these things. They're like 48 something. Obviously excluding tax. So that's a nice little chunk of change on top of it, which sucks. You know. Gosh, goodness gracious today. My hands are... This is not a very good spot. You definitely should have put a stud. Then probably getting the nut on would be a pain in the butt. Okay, hold on. Well, we're gonna go with that screw. That one seemed to fit a little bit better. So we'll go double check all these. That one's tight. And then this one. Okay, that's tight. So that's all complete. Now we need to start pulling the top apart. I think this is gonna be the last difficult part. So now we're gonna have to figure out how to take this thing off without destroying the car. Problem is all these switches. I'm gonna take a picture. It's always a good idea to take pictures, lots of pictures for this wiring. So when you take it apart, you don't forget where everything goes. This one has multiple black wires, but that's okay, because one's for the light and one's for the switch inside of it. And we have the turn signal light. Okay, I have a headlight one. Yeah, this is... I don't think this is going to be very fun. Still, it would be nice to get this whole center console like out of the way. It doesn't really feel like it wants to get out of the way. If that were the case. I don't know which way I'm going to go with this. Take that screw out. And then it just feels really tight up here. I bet you that module, because this does have that diff, the smart lock or whatever it is. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. You see? Yeah, I think that's what's causing the problem. That sucker. That connector ain't no joke either. Wow. Yeah, you guys are getting all bumped out over there. I'm gonna set you on the other side. Set you guys over here. Fucking somewhere that doesn't. Hopefully, I won't get so much movement. Put the camera low. Okay, now let's see if we can get this thing out. This side might be worse than that side. I don't know why this thing won't come out. Oh, 40-inch fuse. Let's see. Got myself in. Forgot I had a tote cone. Hopefully that. Might. The gauge is unfortunately way. Then once we get this out, we'll wire the we'll wire everything in, run all the wires, at least to the center console, so that all the wiring is over here for the stereo. And I'll probably leave this cover off, and once we get the stereo functional, then I'll start working on the operations for all the lights that the fuse box that I cut out. I'm gonna move this gauge over here so it doesn't get destroyed. That's likely gonna happen if I leave it there. Starting to damage my new gauge. The cluster looks like it comes out with 2 ports. That would be pretty nice. It'd give us the room we need, I think. We have a 1/4-inch extension. Probably nuts. They're inside. So I'm going to pull these 2 Torx out of this, off the cluster to the column, in hopes that it makes life a little easier getting this bracket out. There's 2 Torx straight up and down right here, and then you're gonna have to use some sort of socket because the nuts are slightly deep in there. The cluster came out. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna get the nut all the way out though. We'll throw it. Now you think that we're gonna set it down. I don't know if you can see that. We're gonna set it down in the column. I can't reach that way. So that was pretty nice. So there's just 2 Torx right here to hold the cluster, and I just set it down there, and then there's 2 10 nuts from underneath. Pretty straightforward, surprisingly. I'm hoping this comes out easy. I've already got these 3 switches over here unplugged. This whole center stack is loose, but this thing doesn't feel like it really wants to move. I'm wondering if there's something else under here. There's like push clip under here I already got earlier. That goes through this into this, so you have to get that. But oh, there we go, losing those clips again. Wouldn't be me if we weren't. So if you have a cage and have to work a cage, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Hopefully yours is a lot easier than mine. So then we have the smart lock module. connector is actually pretty tough. You can hear it click. Sorry about the camera, guys. Okay. That was a pretty tough little connector. Okay. So let's push it on. Let's go. I got it. Look at that. Okay, so there's some clips in here too. Hold the wiring in place. Here's this side you can actually get to some of these, so I'd like to put those back. I can even get my hand there to. I should take the steering wheel out too. Can't imagine it being that difficult. Okay. There's another harness that all clips in. Oh, that's... So this is what it looks like underneath. So there's 3 clips. What's that purple wire for? Extras. So there's 3 clips. I don't know if you can see this. There's this one right here that clips in under here. This one and this one. That's all I saw. And then the smart module bracket, I think we're going to have to take this bracket off. Well, we're definitely going to have to take it off because we have to reuse it. Is it loose? The module, like, that's kind of weird. It just bounces around here. Not what I'd expect. There's a can, so maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Those are 8s, huh? There's 4 8mm screws on this. Now I'm taking off like this because I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to transfer this bracket over too. I'm not 100% sure though. But I don't want to break this and that. The Christmas tree clips to hold the wire in. It's just easier just to unbolt it like this, and then we can swap the whole thing over as one whole unit. And I didn't have to unplug it, but I guess it makes it easier. And then we're also gonna have to reuse these too, just like last time on the other side. So I'm gonna set this in the back of the car for now, just to get it out of my way. I'm gonna set this over here. God, this is sketchy. So now this is what it looks like with the amplifier in place. It's a little close to the steering, but that's the way it was engineered. So and there's really not a lot of room in this car for some weird reason. Now let me get the wiring. So we're gonna need to run the power wire and take the audio wire to the amplifier, or to the receiver, the head unit. Really not 100% sure. But this stuff obviously plugs in the amp. I'm assuming this stuff plugs into the thing, and these might be auxiliary outputs for something else one day. So let me get, hopefully it's not too dark. You can see my ugly mug again. Sorry about that. So we're gonna take this harness. I don't know if this is where we plug into. This is the main power input. So that clips in like that. It's a nice tight fit. And then we have these 2. Those don't plug in there. There's a front and then there's a rear. So I'm assuming there's these 2. There says rear out, so we're going to plug rear out to rear. No, that's actually not correct, because that'd be out. No, those are them. I guess these are outputs? Also, the inputs are in another harness. Okay, so yeah, these don't plug in the other side of the amplifier. Because then we have rear rear sub in, so yeah, it's not gonna work. So we have rear, we're gonna plug rear to rear, rear to rear. I wish these would be waterproof connections too. That'd be kind of cool. And then we got front to front, like that. Let's make sure they're clipped in all the way. So we have those, we have this. Those aren't really exposed. Now we have sub. Rear, left. Maybe these, maybe I'm supposed to bring these up like this. It's a little tight. Front end. I'm not too sure. Front. That's weird. Front end. Look at the front end. Look at that. That's kind of funky. Those are all sealed. We have rear end. I almost plugged into sub. So there's those. I want to look at the receiver and see what exactly we're supposed to be using. Connect into each other. Okay. Okay, so here's the rears for the rear speakers. I just want to get everything hooked up right now so I don't have to fight with it later. But I'm not 100% sure. Still need to look at the receiver. MX2. Weird. Very. Okay. I might have to refer the video because I'm really not sure on this. So I'm assuming these all plug in together. No, but they're not the same connector. So do we use this? Do we use RCA's? And then do we disregard this harness? Weird. So I'm gonna have to refer to the video just to be certain. Because I really don't want to hook it up wrong. Just give me a few minutes, I'll be back. So I think I kind of figured it out. Think is a really strong word though, because I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of confusing. So this stuff's gonna get routed. Let me move you guys. So we need to route this stuff under here. And every time I look, I refer to the video just to be sure. But I gotta find a way out. It looks like here. There. This way out now. The center's the only way down. So we're gonna run down this way. There's a lot of the kit. It's kind of, I don't want to say pieced together, but since they make so many different types of kits, these are configured separately. So you can buy it, you know, with just 2 speakers, 4 speakers, you know, 1 sub, 2 subs. So it's really kind of a game. There's the front right speaker. So I don't think we're going to plug the speakers in this, because this is the output of the head unit without an amplifier. So we're going to put that plug back in. And then we'll bring it up on top of the column. That's why they give you these plugs. Because if you're going to run an amplifier, there's no reason to, you're not going to use these. Because that's the direct output from the head unit. So I'm assuming. And we'll see how my assumptions work out for me. There's not very much room down there either. That's crazy. I wonder if I can leave this coiled up behind her. I'm just trying to see if I can, because that's going to be a lot to feed. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to have to feed up there is the RCAs. It says the RCAs have to plug in because we have to get some sort of output for the, this is the input for the amplifier, output for the head unit. It's going to go through RCAs, and the amplifier is going to do its whole deal with that signal. And I'm no car audio specialist. I think I hopefully understand the basics, but I'm not that guy. Okay. So there's those. We have the main feed. Also, before we get too ahead of ourselves, I need to get the pieces set up for the satellite radio before I forget. I actually kind of forgot. And I don't know, we'll probably just put it up under the dash. We'll zip tie it to the column somewhere where there's not going to be any water. So this is the little module. I'll probably just end up zip tying it right here. That'd probably be a decent waterproof place, because I don't think that module is waterproof, and I didn't see an option for a waterproof, or maybe I should say water resistant, a Sirius XM, or Sirius, I think it's Sirius XM satellite radio module. Okay. Okay, so we got, that's ran up there, that's at least, everything's kind of getting in its place. The next thing we're going to do is start running, we got to get these freaking massive power wires out of here. We're going to have to get them down the chute for the, to go down the center of the console. Then we have all the, I already have some of the rear wiring ready to go, so we can start pulling wiring back up the front. Let me, see, it's weird to have a sub input, but I'm not too sure. There's no Sirius XM output. Or Sirius XM. This is weird. Okay. And then we have front line out, yeah, so we're going to be using that. Okay, rear sub, so it uses the same signal for that, so the amplifier must be able to figure that stuff out, to convert the rear into a sub signal. So I think I'm going to move the camera. We're going to start on the inside in here, and start to get this wiring mess going. I'm trying to find a good place so you can see this dark abyss. Maybe we'll go over there. Let me grab the light, go on the other side and start fishing it through. Okay, let's see if I can get you guys a good spot. Hopefully sit you right on top of the batteries. I don't think that's such a bad spot. So hopefully that works. And then we still got the rear speakers to do, which was included. Cool. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So we'll just spread that. That looks really tight for those. No, it's not that bad. It's like, this looks really, really tight for those giant power wires. We can just run. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So we'll just start running them. The shifter. I'd rather not run them under there, but I don't want to run them next to the coolant lines and have them melt. I don't think they'll melt it. This shouldn't run that hot. There's one somewhere. We'll leave a little slack in here in case I have something. And we have rear right, rear left. These are going to be the, I should say, these are going to be from the amplifier. The way you can tell is the ones in the rear speakers are going to have these plastic pieces on that plug in, and they're 6 pins. They're all integrated, which is really cool. So it doesn't look like crap. You don't have 2 different connectors. You just have one, and it seamlessly fits, which is actually pretty nice, you know. But you know that saying goes, you get what you pay for, and so far I like what I see. Now this kit seems to be pretty nice. It's just this car with all of its modifications. You know, you can see all this stuff in here. It's just a pain. I'll probably run the amplifiers through this side, and then we'll just zip tie. We'll run them all in, then we'll start zip tying everything and going over all the wiring. Because I'm gonna have what, 4 sets of speaker wire back here. So we'll make it just about as long as the sub, so we're not pulling too much. And then when I'm done, I'll throw it on the other side of the car so we're not messing with it. Then we'll start with this one, and then I think I have to do this, the passenger sub, and then we should be good. And I want to hook it up, make sure it works before I put everything back together. You know, we'll get the satellite radio set up. I don't know where I'm going to put that antenna yet. I was thinking about putting it on the front of the car, because I don't really want to drill a hole in the cage and try to fish that through. It kind of, I think that would be kind of a pain in the butt, but I haven't really figured that out just yet. Get them all even. Okay. This is rough. And then we'll try to untangle it when we get it rolled out. Try to untangle the sub real quick. And I love the loom that they use. It's really so much nicer than that other just basic loom, like this hard plastic. I don't really prefer that loom. It's kind of cheesy in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, this kit's pretty nice, and for the money, it is a lot of money. I do agree, but you know, Rockford Fosgate's a good name. You know, and I wish they would have sponsored this. That would have been awesome, but that's unrealistic. You know, I mean, probably 2 people are gonna watch this video. 2 minutes of it. This guy's crazy. Okay, there's one ran. We can just shoot it over there. But that would have been really nice. Save me a boatload of money. And I was reading other people, they build their own kits with, you know, there's many different brands. You have like UTV Stereo, I think, makes their own kit for one of these. Everybody makes one, and you know, I'm sure they're great. There's nothing wrong with it. I really enjoy my music. I enjoy it loud, and I have experience with Rockford Fosgate products. I was a little bit concerned due to the price of it, but with me getting in here, seeing the quality of the product, you know, the fitment is quite well. Everything seems to be pretty good. There's actually no problem with the kit. Just a little bit of the instructions are kind of confusing. You know, I wish, especially the wiring. The wiring's a little bit confusing because the kit's made for different versions. You know, they have ones with, like I said earlier, they have one with 2 speakers, you know, maybe 4 speakers, 1 sub, and then they have one with 4 speakers and an amp, and then 4 speakers, because they have 6 different kits. And it just makes for kind of a little bit of a difficulty figuring out where everything goes, because everything plugs in a different spot. So I'm going to go on the other side and fish the wiring through for the amp. Okay, so I'm unable to find any real information on that. In the video they don't show it, they just show the guy plugging everything in, which, you know, that's all nice and stuff, but it'd be really nice to see something. But this harness is gonna have to be fed down because we need the remote wire to power this. So I'm gonna have to try to fish this down. I'm not really sure how yet, but we gotta get this through here, and I'd rather try to fish it all through there. You have to do one connector at a time or something, because it's gonna be a little tight. Kind of want to leave it behind the stereo because just a lot of unnecessary wires, but I need this. I could just make a. Yeah, you know what I'll do, I'm just gonna make another wire. I'll make a wire from there to there, so we don't have to fish that through. That'll make it a lot easier. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so I decided not to make one of those wires because I just don't want to have a loose connection. If something happens, I want to keep it all original. But I found this. It was laying up there, just hidden. This is what you connect the subwoofers to. So it actually plugs into right where the power is, where it says sub. It plugs in right there. And then it just splits off and goes into two, one for each sub. So we have these two, they just go anywhere, they're both the same. And you just want to make sure you plug them in the right orientation. I thought I had it. Oh no, that's the power, that's why it didn't fit. There's that, and then there should be one more subwoofer wire around here. Right here. Right? Yep, cool. So there's that. Now we got to get power over there. And we're going to have to obviously go through and clean all this up, because this is a disaster. We're going to have to find power down here. I'm hoping that I still have an open connection for the like the ignition power feed. So we're gonna put this cover up down here. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I just hope I have a next one, because I kind of want to just get this over with. I have that. I think I do actually. Yeah. So this is what we're looking at down here. Bring you guys along. Make you dizzy in the process. Hopefully you can see. You can see my rat's nest. So I think the one in the white is our extra connector. Try to do is without cutting any wires. Okay. And pull the old zip ties. You don't want to leave those in there. It just looks trashy. Yeah, I think so. Awesome. Okay. And this, oh, this feeds the XTC lighting that I have on here. Yeah, I thought I had an extra connector. I'm pretty particular about that kind of stuff. I try to plan for the future, you know, because you never know that the dielectric in there already. I might have did that. Okay, now we need to do the remote wire. So we're gonna have to fish that entire harness to the bottom. Hopefully we have 14% left. So I'd at least like to power it on today, just to make sure. I really don't want to run it to the back. It's just gonna look like crap, you know? I don't like stuff looking like crap. You know? Try to do it nice. Yeah, that is a tight fit right there. Now, I wouldn't mind drilling a hole, but just right through here, you'd never see it. But I don't want to drill into the wiring. There's one. I got two of them down now. Yeah, my hand does not like being in a confined space. Given this thing's getting all kinds of reach arounds doing this radio. That wasn't as bad as I thought. It's never bad It's okay when you're done. I always think it's gonna be bad, and it's really not. So we have all this stuff up here. We can put this fuse back in the holder. This is for the diagnostic. We actually need to plug this smart lock module in before I turn the car on, because I'd imagine the car's not gonna be too happy with that module disconnected. And I just don't want to have no crazy error codes. I have to take it to a dealer. That would not be fun. I do have the scanner for it, but I don't really, I've used it already once, but I don't really know how to use it that well. So we're only going to be running with the fronts, or I guess we're really only be using one front, and then 2 subs just for right this second, just for testing. Maybe I'll plug the speakers in before the battery dies in the GoPro. Front line out. We got front. Seems to be all kinds of stuff in here. We've got camera input, it looks like. And then I did have to hook the satellite radio. Had a special connection for the satellite radio. You have an antenna, you have video in. This, I don't know what that's for. It's like kind of looks like a satellite radio connector, but a little bit bigger. The satellite radio, it looks like you have to jump them right here. It says Sirius XM output, and then Sirius XM aux or SXM input, and then you have an antenna. I don't know what that's about, and then you have obviously the video. So we're just gonna set that up there for right this minute. I still have to drill the hole and everything. Let me plug the smart lock module in so we don't have no crazy errors. I've probably already flagged a bunch of codes. That's okay. I'll just clear them out when we're done. And then we should make sure these power wires aren't going to cause us to have a problem. So I'm really not sure what all this stuff is over here. Right this minute we can plug in the left front and just kind of test it. So that's for that. Just so we can make sure at least the fronts work, which everything should. I think I hooked it up enough to work. I guess we'll find out. So let's bring you along before the battery dies. Car's all taken apart, but the power wire shouldn't. We shouldn't have a spark party. That speaker lit up over there. I think that's a good sign. Let's see. Oh, I might have to have a key in. The car's weird. I've seen the speaker come on, but I might need the key. So I'll put the key in. Yeah, see, it lights up for a second. There it goes. So I don't know what kind of music I'm allowed to play on YouTube. I'm pretty sure none is the preferred. It's not going to start. Should put it in park so it won't roll away. That's pretty cool. You can dim it. That's pretty cool. Let me get it set up real quick and then we'll figure it out. No connection with device. So let's see. Oh, well, I guess we got the LEDs. Menu. Room. Voltage gauge. Bluetooth. Stereo. Device. Rockford. Pretty nice little screen for a little. There it goes. Found it. So we'll connect to it. There it goes. Huh. That was pretty easy. Let's see how this works. So we're only going to be running the fronts and just the 2 subs for right this second. The camera has 5%, and it seems like once it gets down that low, it likes to just drop and drop and drop and drop. Cool. No sound yet. No sound. Maybe I might not have plugged in the remote wire. So I always leave it apart. Yep, see? Look at me. Not plugging in. So we should make sure the volume's down before I try plugging this in. Because I don't want to blow up my eardrums today. I like my eardrums to be functional. And here's a little wire right here. The amplifier should turn on and start pumping some music out. Cool. It works. We'll return later for the rest.